everyone. Thank you for joining us for another episode of our CQW, the Construction Quality Week celebration for the year 2020. I'm your host, Hani Imari, and the Director of Corporate Outreach for PMI GLC and the President of CQM Community. Today, we have a very exciting program for you. We have a very interesting guest, Mr. Ed Caldeira, from the founder of FTQ 360, and he is one of the most important people in the construction, actually the quality community, by introducing different topics and being very active in LinkedIn. I'm sure that most of you have seen his post on first quality approach to quality management. Without further ado, here's Ed.
Hey.
Hi, Ed. How are you doing?
Hey, Hanny.
Thank you for
Very
joining
good.
us.
Thanks for inviting me to join you here.
Thank
you
you
get
very
a chance
much
to talk
for
about my
accepting our
passion.
invitation.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Sounds good. So could you please introduce yourself to our guest?
Yeah, I'm Ed Caldeira. I'm one of the founders of FTQ, First Time Quality, and it's a software company focused on quality management in construction, and it's all built on the idea behind first time quality. And we kind of got to this because we've been working with a lot of construction companies on quality and implementing quality systems, and what we seem to come across is a lot of myths and misconceptions about what quality actually is and how you actually improve quality. And so many people just like plainly resign to their thinking is that deficiencies in construction are unavoidable and it's just a part of every project and there's not much you can do about it. And I really disagree with that kind of concept. Let out bids on contracts, that you have contracts with subcontractors that, hey, you just tell them to come back and take care of things and it doesn't really cost you anything. And the cost of fixing these things, hey, that's not my problem. And it's already in the budget. My staff is not going to change. What's going to change even if quality does get better? And these are some of the headwinds that I see that in our quality community that we're battling against. And you know, when you ask people about quality, there a lot of times they're even thinking about, well, it's really the quality of the steel or the concrete or something like that. And you know, defining it is difficult, you know, to get our arms around, particularly in project-related work that we do. So managing it, measuring it is could be even be thought to be close to impossible.
And that's actually a couple of interesting points you brought. And one is first time quality is being preventive and doing it the first time. So where did that first time quality phrase came from? Is that something that you developed?
It was actually from a client that we were, you know, who kind of framed the whole thing because they were needing to communicate it to their people, and we were implementing a system that was based on first time quality. It just clicked with everybody. So ever since then, it became first time quality.
And you mentioned that you don't see quality just for like technical aspects of like the small components. You look at the quality management further than just the construction quality, maybe more into management part of it and business aspects as well.
Well, it really has to do with the whole organization. And we have a lot of contractors, we have support departments, architecture, purchasing, and that it's actually a network of people that are connected to each other as customers and suppliers to each other. And so that, yeah, we have a lot of interrelationships between us all, and that you can actually look at this whole thing as a network, and that we're controlling activities on the nodes of the network, and we're serving each other as customers and suppliers as links between our different activities.
So when we talk about like the quality profession, what do you think the quality professional should possess, and who would be part of that profession? And what are some of the association or organizations that you recommend to be part of in order to get acquainted with other professionals in this field?
Well, I think the most important thing that I've found for myself is to talk about quality at every opportunity that you have in social networks. You will attract other people who believe the same thing. That if they believe along those lines, or they want to know more about how you believe, that you will naturally attract people if you um, think about things and try to contribute to the organizations that you're part of. And I was the director of quality for the National Association of Home Builders for close to 10 years. And that was actually one of my real personal pleasures, was to, when I was running the National Housing Quality Award, I developed that award, and it immediately brought quality-oriented people to the best in the business to chat with you about quality, and there was nothing better, nothing better than that. And so between us, you're able to like share ideas and build on each other's ideas, and that makes everyone the better. Because very often in construction, a quality manager might be like a lone wolf to a certain extent, with a small part of a piece of a large organization, without so much mentoring going on. And to be able to find other like-minded people in the industry is a really good thing to do, because you'll find that a lot of sharing that goes on about ideas. You could be in the general contractors will share amongst general contractors without trying to be like protective of some proprietary sort of like secret sauce. It's more like let's all make this pie bigger and better, and we'll all benefit from our
That's a
mutual
great point.
goals.
Actually, that's the reason we created the CQM community,
Yeah.
is to collaborate and share best practices. And like you mentioned, I mean, they don't have to be like a secret sauce that you are sharing with everybody.
Yeah.
It could be simple reminders that everybody knows that you need to be careful on this, or don't let this something like this happen to you, based on the lessons learned that we get. And just to say, oh, we checked this material before getting to site. I mean, that just pops something in somebody's head to say, hey, I got something similar going and I need to watch
Yeah.
out for it. So exactly, that's the reason
Well,
why
yeah,
we
that would
created
be like a
this.
lesson learned kind of
Mhm.
thing. And, there's certainly a role for that. I mean, I just wrote a blog article on lessons learned just actually this afternoon.
Mhm.
And
Very good.
with on that, and it's really not that the quality manager needs to be the expert on every lesson to be learned, but really they're the ones that are responsible for the business process of learning lessons from mistakes, and teaching people that this is something that we can actually learn from and prevent issues. And so the quality manager is less of a policeman than a facilitator of sharing of ideas, and helping everyone be successful at getting better and better at first time quality. And anything that stops making mistakes over and over again, which is like what is prevalent in construction, we all benefit from that. So it's always faster and cheaper to build it right the first time, and rather than repairing it, or from the safety perspective, or getting hurt. This actually has an actual business benefit. So until quality managers and quality professionals can connect their quality activities to business benefits and dollars, and what kind of contribution you're actually making to the company, it's a really tough time. It's
Actually, it's a great, another great point you just made is about the way that people look at a quality manager. I used to be a safety manager, like for a project like 20 years ago, when I just started in the construction industry. And the way that they looked at me as a safety officer was as if I'm policing them and I'm just there to give them tickets
It's
or
a no-win
whatever. And
situation.
it was such a bad safety culture at the time. But now, after 20 years, safety, everybody loves the safety guys because they remind them, they give them these prep talks and toolbox talks, and they look at it differently just because the safety culture is grown to become an integral part of construction industry. I think the quality managers need to find that sweet spot as well. I mean, the way that they look at quality managers as the person that is just going to report the errors or just going to make us look bad because we didn't do proper coordinations or we didn't
Well, it
use the
really
proper
goes to
planning.
who's responsible for quality,
Mm-hmm.
right? And if the quality manager says, I'm the one who's responsible for quality, it's a hard life.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody meets up to your expectations, and you'll spend all your time trying to convince people that things that they think are good enough are not, and
Mm-hmm.
that there's no percentage in that.
The other point that you made about the business aspect of it, where you need to connect your quality efforts and quality perspective to your business intelligence and try to connect it to some of the key performance areas, is that's another very good points that I'm making note of.
I mean, managers and think strategically about their
Mhm,
business.
mhm,
They have certain things they want to improve. They don't want to improve. They might not say quality. They might say we want to make sure we come in on budget. That we need to make sure that our projects come in on schedule. So the quality manager needs to figure out how can quality contribute to that end. If you have not figured out how you're going to contribute to the strategic direction that the management of the company has set, then no one's going to listen to you because you're working cross purposes to what they think is important. So unless you convince them that they're going in the wrong direction, which is not going to happen too often,
Yes.
would then frame and set your priorities for quality, but how it's actually going to, let's say, improve budget. So in that case, you would have to say, well, how much are these defects costing us? And if we prevented these defects, how much could we contribute to the bottom line? So now you're actually a source of contributions to profitability than otherwise. So you can use your quality management skills to actually anticipate risks for projects that could go sideways and prevent them from happening. So now you turn from somebody that a quality manager might be someone who is a policeman to an MVP, and that's really kind of like the goal of a quality manager is, how can I be the MVP? How can I leverage, the quality to contribute to the organization? They want you to be there. They're not trying to chase you away. They want you there, and which
Exactly.
is a big
That's
difference from some environments. But to a large
right.
extent, you can create that environment yourself.
As we are coming to our closing, what is the key takeaway that you want our audience to have and kind of the legacy you want to leave behind for our construction community and our closing remarks, I guess?
Well, you put me on the spot here, but I'm going to say that that they should really take a serious look at understanding first-time quality as a concept, and understand what the ramifications of that are for a construction company. And also the role of technology is starting to play a huge effect on what we can actually accomplish. And that's actually why we got into our FTQ 360 software was, a lot of these concepts are fine, but you actually have to put them into practice. And that usually requires the blocking and tackling that goes on a job site and working with real data and so on. So that's also been kind of like a good thing. But I would say on the bottom line is don't fall into the old school thinking of what quality is, and it's just construction as usual, and you're never going to change anything, because you really have the ability to change something, change it on even one project. You can just implement a quality process that you can use on one project and then roll that out to other projects. And it's a very rewarding type of experience. Yeah.
Great. That sounds very good, Ed. Thank you very much. Appreciate the time that you had with us today. And I hope that in the near future, we're going to have other programs that we'd like you to participate as a panelist for our programs, and have a presentation on your FTQ 360 software and things that our construction community could benefit from. So hopefully we'll invite you for our future programs and have you as one of our panelists.
That'd be my pleasure, Henry.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Ed. We'll see you soon.
Take care. Bye now.
Bye.